This is the Ridiculously Amazing Insurance Agent Podcast, hosted by me, Kelly Donnie Upiro. This show is for growing insurance agencies looking to maximize their biggest investment, their people. Listen to the top agency performance partners clients share their story on how they boosted their performance by executing a plan. Let's head to the show. Hey everyone, it's Kelly Donnie Upiro here for your mashup of our 3-minute videos for the week. And this one was a Heath Sharon takeover. So he took all the videos start to finish, and you'll hear a little extra commentary from me. So without further ado, we're going to talk a little bit about how to engage and develop leaders inside of your team. Because also often agency owners shoulder so much of the burden. And in reality, it's one of the great ways to keep top talent to start engaging them and developing them into the next level for their career. We'll see you in the first video. So Heath Sharon, the mayor, talks a little bit in this video about how to engage your staff. You know, as we kind of get to know people, we often see all the reasons something may not work, but we don't know really what their true intentions are, what they'd like to get better at. And it starts by you, the leader, sharing your vision. And then you have to work through getting buy-in from your staff and having some pretty intentional, albeit difficult, but coaching conversations with your team. And when you create a culture that people want to be a part of, those leadership roles are a lot easier. I've seen so many agencies where people don't want to be leadership because it just seems so hard and so arduous, and that they have to confront some very strong personalities. You, as the agency owner and leader, want to break down some of those barriers. And he talks just about that in this video.
Hey guys, this is Mayor Heath Sharon here on another installment of the 3-minute videos. Listen, be proud of yourself for being here today. It shows that you do care about your craft and you want to get better. I am super excited to be hanging out with you guys this week. This week, we're going to be talking about developing and engaging leaders. And there's so many leaders in our industry, and probably right there in your office. I want to talk to you this week because your responsibility as a leader is to engage and develop your people to be the best and to do their best. And if you really, really want to do this, then you've got to engage in developing your leaders. And at first, I think that truly does start with sharing your own vision, sharing the passions and the visions that are in your heart, that as you developed as a leader and as the owner of the company or as the leader of your division or something to that effect. I think that it starts with the vision. And if you're a staff member listening to this, then I think it starts with listening to that vision. And I think that casting that vision and buying into that vision is so important. I think it starts with, sharing that vision because you want to cast it in a way and share it in a way that inspires others and gets that buy-in. I also think that happens with having individual conversations. I think that being a leader is not keeping all that to yourself. I think it's also engaging with your staff. I think having individual conversations, getting to know your people, investing in the people in your office are super important. I think, getting to know maybe their kids' names or getting to know what makes them tick and having those conversations to say, it got to be intentional in those conversations to find out what's important to them and find out, what ideas they might have about the business and about your vision and kind of what their thoughts are on certain things. I think this also, another beneficial part of having these conversations is one of the other things I want to talk about, and that's building that culture. And I think we all know that. We've heard that buzzword thrown out a lot over the last couple of years of culture, but I do think it's supremely important in your agency that you've got a strong culture. And I think part of developing leaders and developing and engaging those people in your office, it comes down to having that culture. People want to work where they enjoy coming to work, where they feel like they're with like-minded people, where they're all running after that same goal or running after the same passions and running after the same vision that you've casted. And in developing that culture is so important. So I really hope that this video was helpful to you in helping you think about, as we start off this new year, developing and engaging the leaders within your very office. Thanks again. Thanks again. And I look forward to hanging out with you throughout this week, sharing these videos. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day.
All right. So our next video has to do all about how do we build a team that makes the most sense for you. As your agency grows, it's super important that you think about who are the next leaders and who do you want to run your agency with you for the next decade.
having the right team members makes all the difference. We've done that here at APP. Sometimes we've held on to people where I know that they weren't a great fit, but in a lot of instances, I've tried harder to make them a good fit than they have. And that's a good indication that it might be time to look elsewhere. When you have the right people in the right seats, a lot of things go well. As your agency grows, new seats develop. And that's a good reason to grow. You might have a great team member, but somebody that needs to find a new role. There's a huge cost of having a bad hire, and Heath Sharon, the mayor, will talk a little bit about that. You almost want to hire slow, fire fast. And you have to be thinking, are you preparing or repairing? For many agencies, we see them running around like firefighters. And what happens with firefighters is we're waiting for those 911 calls. Fire prevention, though, is about preventing fires before they begin. So let me allow Heath to talk to you a little bit about how to build the right insurance team.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the Mayor Heath Sharon here, and I'm super pumped to be here with you guys today and this week because we are talking about developing and engaging leaders. First of all, be proud of yourself for being here today because I think it's super cool that you're starting off or, ending your day or middle of your day, whatever you're watching this. But what's important is that you're watching it, and we are very thankful that you do, and we hope that you get a lot out of these. But I want to dive right in because today we're talking about, and this week we're talking about developing and engaging leaders. Your responsibility as a leader is to employ and engage your people to do their best and to be their best. If you really want to do that, then I think you really have to engage and develop them. Today and this week, we're going to talk about that very thing. Today, I want to talk about building the right team. It's incredibly important that you build the right team. To quote the book Traction, you got to have the right people in the right seats. Each person is filling a position in which they want, they understand, and they have the capacity for. If you got the right people in the right seats, then they're able to thrive and build upon what they're good at, and they believe in your vision, and they believe in your vision and what you want to do with the company and your mission and all the values that you've got. If you've got people in the right seats and they believe in those things, then I think it's crucial and it's very important. The book Traction is a very fundamental book to so many agencies and so many things that we do at APP. And I want to make sure I got that quote out there too. If you want to check out the book, you really ought to check it out, by Gino Wickman. I've got the book actually sitting right here. But also, I want to talk to you about, the cost of a bad hire. It causes your emotional energy. It caused you to have, wasted time and effort that you put into developing somebody that didn't quite work out. I think it also caused low morale within your agency if you have a bad hire, declining performance from the rest of the team. And it can also just overall affect your recruiting and your training and everything else if you've got a bad hire in there that's distracting you from spending time with those that are doing well and that do want to be a part of the team. And it's just causing the rest of your team to have that low morale and declining performance. I also want to talk to you, there's another book that I'm very fond of, and it's another author of mine that I support, and that's what's his name? John C. Maxwell. Sorry, and the book is called Today Matters, and they talk about two different things that you're doing every day. John C. Maxwell says every day you're either preparing or you're repairing, and that's always meant a lot to me. And obviously you know this, but I'll say it: if you have a bad hire, then you're spending the majority of your day repairing. If you have someone who can't cut it, can't carry the load, or just a bad fit, then you're going back to yesterday and you're having to start over every day. And so you want to make sure you build that right team. And to develop and engage leaders has so much to do with that right team and with those people that you have around you and around your staff. I really hope that this video has done something and spoke something to you as you start off your year in 2022, developing and engaging the leaders that are already right there in your office. I really hope that you have a great day, and I hope to see you again tomorrow on the next one. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Hey everyone, it's Kelly Donahue from APP, and I'm so excited because we're about to launch our new course, which is all on how to find and keep the best talent in your agency. Just like when I got really tired of hearing how busy everybody was in insurance, I'm currently in the same place with it's hard to find talent. And so we want to create a whole playbook for your agency on how to do this. This includes going over what does your agency need based on Reagan best practices. So we actually match up like how many people do you need? What kind of people do you need? We're looking at creative strategies from virtual assistants to remote workers to service centers. And we have really in-depth information for you so you can make an unbiased decision on if it's right for you. We have templates for job offers and job postings. We've got all the communication templates you could ever want so that way as you're going through the process, you know how to grade candidates. So literally, this is all plug and play, interview questions, the steps to a good process, where to go find candidates. We've come up with about 10 different areas that you can post to get jobs and find the best candidates. So if hiring is challenging, we want to give you the answer to it. Now, no secret, it is some work. But with this playbook that has videos, it has the communication templates, it has a tracker, it has your playbook that actually walks you through step-by-step of what you need to be doing, you have a greater chance of getting the right candidates. And we have a whole section on how to keep the right people. So you don't want to lose top people either. So if hiring is on your mind and it's a challenge, make sure you hop on this playbook and course that we have just for you. We're doing special discounts just as we launch this course. Make sure you take advantage of it. Any questions, let us know, but don't miss out. We'll see you in the course.
So in this one, he's going to talk about finding the sweet spot, which is helping people find their comfort zone, what they're best at, understanding how they can add value to your agency. And this can come in a lot of different formats. I think sometimes we stick in very traditional roles when there's some opportunity for creativity. That includes you having conversations with your team. The more you talk to them in coaching meetings, the more you'll understand what value they can potentially provide you. But you have to find out what makes them tick. There's some people who love to crush a stack of paperwork and not talk to people. And there's some people that love to be on the phone all day long chatting, and they're not great at the paperwork. Your next step is to help them get there. Build a plan, build a strategy. So at the end of the day, they see a clear path to success. So in this video, he will break down how to find your team's sweet spot.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the mayor here. He's Sharon, and I'm super proud to be here with you guys. And I'm super excited because, like I said, today and this week, we're talking about developing and engaging leaders. And this is another 3-minute video. And be proud of yourself for being here and trying to grow in your business and trying to grow in your craft. It means a lot to us at APP, and I'm so proud that you are here. As successful leaders, if you want to be a good leader, it's your responsibility to employ and empower your people to be their best and to do their best. And I've said that all week because I mean that. I think it's very important. And today, I want us to talk about a couple of things about building other people's niches and put them in the right spot. Successful leaders, number one, they know their own niche. They know their own sweet spot, for example. But more importantly, a successful leader will help others develop their sweet spot and their niche. I think, to help people to find their niche or to find their sweet spot, I think it's super important that you sit down and have those conversations with them. We've talked about this a little bit this week, but I do think it's sitting down with your team, and you can start with your leadership team. Sit down with them at first and visit with them and just find out where their heart is and what helps them, and then sit down with your team on top of that and say, find out what makes them tick. What is their sweet spot? How to motivate them. Not everybody's motivated by money or bonuses or by trips or whatnot. Find out what truly motivates people. Find out what they're good at. Find out what they feel like their strengths are. And on top of that, find out what their weaknesses are. And then kind of build around that. I think that, like I said, a good leader will help them develop those sweet spots and those niches. I think that another thing about building those niches, I think it's also crucial that you give them those resources, surround them with the right team to be able to sit in that sweet spot and to do what they're good at, and provide those people, whether it's links to different articles or things like that. And we'll get into some more of that tomorrow. But I do think it's super important that not only help them to find their niche, but also develop that niche. I think that find out what that sweet spot is and help your staff to get there. And that's the best way, in my opinion, to develop those leaders. And I really hope that this video has been a help to you. I hope this week has been a help to you. We got more coming, and I hope that you have a great day.
In the next video, the mayor, Sharon, talks a bit about learning. And this is something I'm very passionate about. In fact, it's a core value of everybody who works here. And we recently even had a situation where somebody wasn't in the mood to keep learning and it just turned out to not work out. When someone violates your core values, it becomes very apparent. But there is a saying, if you're not growing, you're dying, and learning is a huge opportunity. Now, it's not just about learning about coverages. How about learning about technology, sales skills, how to cross-sell? Remember, we have a whole online school that's just for that. So your team needs to be engaged in podcasts, books, idea sharing, and make sure it's part of your team meeting. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should go home and read 5 business books a week, but you do want team members that are engaged in that and kind of involved in the process. So let's let Sharon tell you all about why learning is so important.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the mayor here, Sharon, on another installment of the 3-minute video. And today, again, as we've talked about all week, I'm super excited to be here because we're talking about developing and engaging leaders. And I've enjoyed this whole week of hanging out with you guys and getting some feedback, and it's really been cool. And I'm really proud of you guys for being involved and being engaged and paying attention to these videos. I really hope that they're helping some of those that haven't reached out to me as well. You know, as I've said all week, your responsibility as a leader is to engage and empower your people to do the best they can do and be the best that they can be. And in order to do that, you got to develop and engage them. I firmly believe that. And today, I kind of want to focus on the resources part of it. You know, yesterday in our video, we talked about that, surrounding them with the resources that your staff needs and that your people need or your colleagues need in order to become a better leader. And today, as we focus on that, I want to give you some ideas there and help them to challenge them to grow in whatever it is they might be doing. And I think you can do that in a number of different ways. And I know for me personally, mine is audibly, mine is my podcast. And not just because I'm a podcast host or not because I just like to hear myself talk or anything, but for me personally, it just helps me because I can do that wherever, whether I'm in the car or I'm working out or I'm walking the dog or whatever it might be. Cooking, I do a lot of while I'm cooking. I really think that you can share those podcasts. So, if you want to share a certain podcast that you've listened to, it doesn't have to necessarily be industry related, but if that's something that you think will motivate them, I think you could share those podcasts, have them listen to a certain topic or a certain discussion from a certain podcast host that might help them. Another, maybe books. I think you might be able to help people to learn by certain books that you've read. I know, Kelly's big on traction, and I've had other people send me books on, different things. And I think that that's so important that if you've got a book that you want them to read, I think you challenge them. I think another way to build culture as well as engage your leaders is by doing maybe like a monthly book club or a weekly book club for that matter. You could find a certain book and weekly you could go through it and have like a little book club session. We take a break from the agency for a minute and maybe, on Fridays or whatever day of week it is, you can sit down and have that discussion about said book, whatever that might be, and kind of get their ideas and their thoughts. And it's just a good way for team building as well as developing and engaging your leaders. I think also, you can share industry articles. Obviously, there's a lot of insurance industry articles out there from different publications that you could share or different things you might have read, or even could be a post of maybe even Kelly's for that matter on Agency Performance Partners or something that she has shared. I really think that that's a lot of help as well to be able to develop and engage your leaders. I also think another cool way of engaging your leaders is by sharing ideas. Maybe having a weekly collab session to where during one of your weekly meetings that you have at the office, you can sit down and just take 20 or 30 minutes just to spitball an idea, toss some ideas back and forth, let them know that they're heard, and you can kind of get some ideas from them because leaders have great ideas and leaders have things that they want to share as well. And you can develop that by doing that. Maybe even having a weekly whiteboard session or a monthly whiteboard session, whatever you want to do there, just to throw up a topic, or maybe even say, hey, how can we increase our renewals this week or this month or this year? And just whiteboard some of that out, listen to their ideas, things like that. That helps engage them and helps others listening to that to be able to learn from those people And then also, I think the last thing, as you're doing, continuous improvement and helping them to improve, maybe you could have some, as you do your weekly meetings, have some of your other staff members lead those meetings. Maybe you step back, every now and then, once a month or every other week or whatever it may be, and maybe let someone else lead the meeting. And obviously you could get with them on certain topics you wanted to discuss, but have them lead the meeting, get them used to being in that leadership role and get them used to talking to people, because they have to talk to their clients or they have to present to certain people to win a deal or whatever. I really think those are some things that you could do and some good ideas to help develop and engage leaders in your agency. I really, really, really do hope that you guys have gotten a lot out of these videos this week. It's been a lot of fun for me to take over this week, so to speak, of the 3-minute videos and share some things that are near and dear to my heart and something that I think is crucial to everybody in an agency. And that's helping to develop either yourself as a leader, develop your staff as a leader, or to be coached to be a better leader in your agency. Guys, I look forward to hanging out with you on the next one. Thank you again for hanging out with us this week. Hope you have a great day, and I hope your 2022 is beginning and shaping out pretty well. Have a great day.
Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed Heath Sharon's takeover of our 3-minute videos while I was on vacation. We appreciate you guys supporting us. If you like this, share this with your team, use it in staff meetings. But most importantly, take a look. On January 15th, 2022, we will be launching our new course, which is How to Hire. And in it is all the templates you need, job postings, where to post, how to conduct interviews, interview questions for every single role, how to onboard people, and how to create a culture that keeps people there. So it's a pretty robust course. We recommend you think of it like a playbook, not even necessarily a course, because it's got all the templates that you'll ever need. So if hiring has been on your struggle, this is something that will walk you through step by step the best practices we find for finding the best talent out there. We hope you have a ridiculously amazing day, and we'll see you soon.